Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cynispection, where you just missed an amazing round on random movie things. Um, I'm Gabe, joined as always by John, and today we're also joined by our friend Ryan. Um, so let's get right into it. John, you and I wanted to review James Cameron movies.
Yeah.
Because Avatar's coming out.
Yeah.
And we weren't just going to do like Terminator or whatever. So we were like, let's do True Lies and The Abyss.
Correct.
None of which are streaming anywhere for some reason. I think True Lies might have been streaming in Peacock, so we might be able to watch it next week. I don't know, but The Abyss is just nowhere to be found. So then we, by some reason, both of us watched Violent Night this
because
weekend.
I told you had to watch it, because I went and watched it and I got out and I was like, what are you doing? And you're like, oh, I'm going to see this dumb Spielberg thing. And I was like, okay.
Don't you call it a dumb Spielberg
thing. Spielberg.
And then
what are you, an internet person?
And I said, you need to watch this. It's going to be like, you're going to love it. And you went and watched it and you immediately texted me like, yeah, it was fucking great.
It was great. I really enjoyed Violent Night. It's a good well put together action movie with a Christmas message, which I didn't think it would have. I thought it would just be about the kills, but it has a bit of a Christmas message. I'm very curious to hear why Ryan did not like it.
Yeah.
I will say it's not that I didn't like it. I'm just like, I'm kind of dissatisfied with it. There's just something about it that it just doesn't fully work. But I will say, David Harbour as Santa Claus, literally a fan casting that will never be beaten. Like in any book, David Harbour's fucking Santa Claus in my book, and he absolutely killed the role. I thought.
But this is the story. This is every holiday story combined into one. That's what makes it great. It's every
just done poorly.
It's every single movie that I grew up with loving all at once. It has Elf in it. It has Home Alone in it. It has Die Hard in it. Like, I mean,
don't even start me with the Home Alone bit. I watched that and I just sat there and I put my hand. But so it wasn't the Home Alone stuff directly. It was the very last thing that the little girl does with the slingshot, where I just put my face in my hands and shook it.
But it's supposed
that happens in Home Alone.
Yeah.
No, I know, but my problem is she shoots 3 things and 2 of them are like small toy objects. And then the third one is just some random fucking 30-pound weight.
Yeah, that's the point.
That's the funny part.
That's literally Home Alone. He swings one thing in Home Alone 2. He swings one can, knowing that they're going to miss it. Swings a second can, knowing they're going to miss it. And then he throws the whole freaking bar at them and knocks them both down. Like, it's literally like grabbing from my childhood and being like, here, John.
Stop, John.
This is what the things you want in a rated R package.
No, John, you're starting to make me not like this. It's not a nostalgic movie. It's just a movie that is inspired by good Christmas crap and does it well. But it's not trying. No nostalgia, please.
No, I'm just saying it is built on all of that. I love it. It's great.
I thought I agree with David Harbour was really good. I like that the family, they're all douchebags. It kind of reminded me of Knives Out. Remember the family in Knives Out? They were similar douchebags.
Yeah.
I agree. I just think this is what would happen if Rian Johnson didn't write that movie. These are the characters. This is what the characters would turn into. Just annoying variants.
Oh, I mean, you have to like ignore a lot of the things in this movie to like it, right? Like, this is not a movie that you can go into thinking it has some deep plot. It's like a John Wick style movie, right? Like a very thin plot to watch people get killed for 90 minutes.
Well, that's why I thought like was probably one of the best parts, because I mean, not to destroy my reputation, but I've never really cared for Christmas movies that much. I find them to be like, I mean, I think they're all right, but I don't I don't lose my shit with Christmas movies. This one is both a Christmas movie and a heavy action movie.
Mm-hmm. It's Die Hard.
Yeah. So it's I found that to be a very good idea. Like somebody was like, "Hey, what if we did Die Hard, but actually like a Christmas messaging movie?" Not to get into the
Well,
who's
because
the
Santa
Christmas
has
movie.
to, yeah. So the
Yeah.
plot of the movie, and I told somebody this earlier, but the plot of the movie is Santa Claus lost the spirit of Christmas. And to find it again, he must murder a home full of kidnappers and save a family to remind himself of the joy of Christmas. That's the plot of this movie.
Mostly save the little girl.
Yeah.
But she's
He
the
he
spirit
was
of
ready to
Christmas.
fuck off and forget about the family multiple times. It
But,
was
like-
more the girl.
Yeah, that's a
He
like
was,
Cindy Lou Who.
he was about to leave until he saw the girl.
Yeah.
No, was it C or was it over the walkie-talkie? That
No, he
just
saw
heard
her.
her, yeah. Or
Yeah,
No, because
that
he
was-
looked inside the house and then he saw her.
Oh,
okay.
And
yeah.
then he was like, shit.
Yeah.
So I think I kind of figured it out. My biggest gripe with this movie is it isn't consistent with what it wants to be. Like it kind of just shifts the rules to what the story demands and how to
Like what?
progress it.
Like what?
For example, the whole well, the fucking scene I literally just pointed out. What are the chances Santa Claus gets stuck in the one house in the entire fucking planet? He gets stuck in the house on top on the top, right? And I didn't even realize this until they revealed it, but I thought they were in two separate houses when he got into the chimney the first time. They show like the little sparkly shit of him transforming through the chimney. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, okay, I'm watching this. I'm watching this. I'm watching this.
You pay way too much attention to what this.
Oh
movie
no,
is.
I definitely do. I could go on and on about
Like,
There's
the
no
editing
movie
problem.
that doesn't happen. Like
yeah,
it's
like
like,
the
oh,
whole point. This is okay. So like John Wick, a dude's dog dies, so he kills the entire Russian mob. That is the entire premise of the first movie.
forget about
Well,
that.
he didn't
Like,
have to kill the whole
like-
entire Russian mob. They only
I mean,
did it
if-
because they were going to die if they didn't
No,
protect
the point
the
of
No,
it is
no,
you
but
can
I
have a
mean-
great movie, you can have a great action movie with a very thinly veiled plot that does nothing really other than just like progress it in the increment it needs to go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was failing again. Listen, if you analyze the plot of any movie with that lens, you're gonna kill every single movie. Like, why did R2D2 and C3PO land on the one planet where Darth Vader's son is, or where the kid that can use the Force is, and Obi-Wan Kenobi is? Why did like out of all the years that Marty McFly could have gone back in time, he went back in time to the moment where his parents met. Like if you start analyzing every movie that way, like just no movie makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I don't think that's a valid argument to say that movies don't make sense generally.
No, you're saying like why was he there? Like the
Fate.
sleigh left.
Yeah.
I mean, I interpreted it, but I don't think this was saying the movie. I interpreted it as being like
So
like
I'm
the-
not
the-
trying to say having the plot be coherent to not coherent. Sorry, I can't figure out the fucking word. Jesus Christ. But when the plot is helping the main character, right? Like the character
convenient.
convenience.
Yeah,
Yeah,
plot
that was the word.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm fine with plot convenience, but this movie is just littered with it. That's my only issue.
That's most
Every-
action movies though.
I,
That's like
it's a comedy.
I disagree with the John Wick movies. I will say that in particular. I said that when I walked out of this movie. I don't feel the exhilaration in the fight scenes in Violent Night as much as I do with John Wick. And I know if you look at both of them in the lens that they're both going to make it out because that's usually what these movies tend to do. It's about
But I mean,
how they
did you really expect a Santa Claus to have the same fight capabilities of John Wick? Like it was supposed to be tongue
yeah.
in cheek.
It depends on when the movie felt like it. One moment he was getting his ass kicked by one mercenary. Next thing you know, he's murdering.
He got his
12 of them.
hammer. That was a pivotal point in the movie.
It was before he even got his hammer too. He used the fucking skate to cut the dude's head off. I'm like, do you guys want him to be Super Santa? They even tease with his whole barbarian backstory. I'm like, they can't even stick to him being a badass barbarian just so he can get beat up because they're afraid to make him too overpowered. And I feel like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Dude, what do you mean you're giving me this whole face? Do you not even remember the first kill when he pushes the dude out the window? It takes him like 2.5 minutes just to push him out the window.
He's rusty. He hasn't fought in 1,100 years.
And he was
and then he
up.
He loses the last
he-
fight
and
to
he
Luis
literally
John.
took a bottle to the face, and he had been throwing up because he was so drunk.
Okay.
Maybe Santa just needs to sober up. Who knows?
But you brought up a good point though, Ryan, on the fight scenes and the the choreography, and that's something that like the only thing that I would. It's not a nitpick. I think it's bigger than a nitpick about this movie that like they
There's no tension in the fighting. Is what?
no forget about that. Forget about that. The cinematography is way too dark, and it's like
Thank you.
so many.
Thank you. I said
way.
that. I can barely see what the fuck happened in that bar scene to say, oh, that was a cool fight scene. Between you really couldn't tell out the gore either. Like, I know it's a rated R film. It was bloody in the moments it was bloody, but I felt like it was more rated R because of all the F-bombs they were dropping and Santa like being dirty mouth and saying fuck you dirty cunt or whatever, some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like this movie was as brutal as it could have been because of the way it was lit.
I didn't expect that much out of the cinematography. I didn't expect that much out of the movie at all, if I'm being honest. But I don't go into these like expecting much. Like the director's big claim to fame is like Hansel and Gretel witch hunters. Let's just
really
get out there.
Is that really this movie?
Yeah, guys, come on! Like this is meant to be a B movie. Everything about this screams at like it's just
that's
a
fine, but I can't see what's going on, so it doesn't matter if it's an A, B, C, D, E, F, G movie. That's my only issue. If you don't want to light the scene because you're not confident in the work you're putting in, don't create it that way in pre-production. That's my only gripe with it. Why have 12 guys when you can just make a way better 1v2 fight and keep it consistent?
I mean, because not every
and save
fight,
money and put him in different areas.
But every fight would be the same if you make every fight the same. Every fight. By the way, not to go on a tangent, but Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters was actually a pretty big box office success. I can't believe
Jeremy Renner's in it.
I know, but I thought it was like a massive flop.
It sounds like it would be.
No, it's like a cult classic. It made all
honestly,
its money on the back end.
It's pretty decent. I don't think it's that bad. It's a pretty fun
there's
movie.
So many things here. Okay, the movie is produced by Will Ferrell and Adam McKay. What the hell is going on?
He also wrote the movie, by the way.
Tommy Wirkola.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there's something wrong. He's Norwegian. Like what is going on? What is going on with this?
What is
like
this shit?
Look,
there's
man,
something wrong. Yeah,
I go into these movies expecting like very low expectations, and I always come out with great like whatever. Did I enjoy it for 90 minutes? Yeah, actually, this one was a little over. I think it was an hour.
It was 2 hours.
It was almost 2, like 1 hour 45.
Yeah, no, it was like 1:59.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But it was good. It didn't seem long. It had action. It wasn't Star Wars, Marvel, or Willow, or can I name another Game of Thrones, or one of the 18 Walking Dead spinoffs, or like it was something original. It like pulled from a bunch of like childhood things, but it didn't go over the top with them, right? So I mean, I'm just like so sick of the other crap that's being pumped out by everybody else that this to me is like a breath of fresh air, honestly.
But
me too.
I'll be in
love
the argument
B-movies.
that there's other B movies is one thing, but I'll be in the argument that I think there's a lot of great movies out right now that aren't like big IP films. Like one film that I thought was really good, Banshees in Inisherin, bro. Easily one of my favorite
Which one?
films this year. Banshees of Inisherin with Colin Farrell.
Okay, I did not see it.
No, that's a really good movie. Triangle of Sadness. I thought the first two acts were really good. I thought it
Yeah.
fell off in the third act a lot.
Completely agree.
Like I don't know like why they decided to take whatever direction it was, but John, I highly recommend that movie. It's a little bit lengthy, but
Yeah,
if you
Gabe tried to
if
get
you
me to
want
watch it.
if you really want something different, that's definitely a way to go too. The Fablemans, Steven Spielberg. I know you were talking shit about him before, but it's a great film, and I'll say that live right now. I fucking love it. So there are great films that aren't IP, but I'm also in the boat where I understand like this is one of those B action flicks where you can just shut your mind off, not really pay attention to it, and just know what's going on. People are fighting, shit's going down. You got funny one-liners, but I want to say Season's beatings not being in the film itself was a massive disappointment.
What's Season's beatings? Oh, a line, you mean?
Yeah, he says it. He says it in the trailer. It's time for some Season's beatings. And I'm like, fuck. The one great line from the
I
trailer.
kind of like,
not
you know,
movie.
I like and I hate that at the same time, right? Because I like it when I don't know everything or the trailer like trips me up or
Yeah.
so I have a love hate, but in this case, yeah, that would have been an awesome one line to keep it.
I mean, he has like every single other one-liner and
Yeah,
pun that you can do, like Santa Claus is coming to town, and like he has everything. I thought it was fine. I don't. I mean, honestly, I don't. Like, you have not convinced me about the flaws in the movie, except for the cinematography, which I do think was a big problem.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
that was
I
a
fully
massive
agree
fuck
that
up.
the cinematography is garbage.
Yeah, it was a massive fuck up. Like, I don't know what they were thinking, because like it does have the fight choreography and it has the gore and it has everything that it need to, but they just don't go for it. I don't understand what they were doing.
Yeah, it felt like they were very confrontational with just themselves and trying to figure out what they really wanted to go for in terms of how to film just the fighting in particular. And I thought the general scope of the house itself felt kind of lousy. If that makes sense. Like I don't feel like I was watching people in an actual house. It felt very set oriented. I don't
I
know if
think
that's just me.
I
I'm
think that also was supposed to be a little bit that way because like they showed what a production Christmas was, right? Like it literally was just like kind of BS, like what a rich
yeah.
family would do. So it did feel very set like, I'll agree, but I think also that was kind of intentional because it was so like they were so stringent.
Yeah. And
It's
I got
also possible that it was a budget thing. They didn't
Yeah.
have such a big house, and they're
I
like,
mean,
hey,
I cannot imagine
I think
that
they
this
had a
had a
whole
big
house for this movie. I think they actually shot in a house, to be honest. I think I remember seeing like a tweet or something behind the scenes of them shooting and they found like some isolated house and it worked for COVID or whatever. But I gotta say, I think they intentionally and unintentionally made every single character in this film pretty much fucking stupid outside
yeah.
of Santa Claus. Like you've got
that was the point.
no, that's
Like,
what I said. You
Yeah.
have the ones that were obviously written to be idiots, like the son and the sister's boyfriend that gets shot in the head outside.
and
But
the sister, yeah.
the father in particular, just a
Oh
raging
yeah,
idiot.
I agree. I didn't like him, but I mean,
What was especially when they revealed his whole plan of taking the
Taking the
money and they reveal where he left it. I'm like, dude, what was your plan even if you
out back
left
the
in the
house,
morning?
$300 million. Yeah, I
Three
mean that
hundred
was a
million
little.
dollars in what, like 25 different bags? You were gonna do
also,
it by
why did
yourself?
what was I mean, I don't. This is nitpicking eventually, but like he takes it all from the vault and puts it all under the hay
Yeah, when he could
in
have
the
just like drove
nativity,
it out
and then
right then and there, probably.
exactly he could have just put him in
Like,
his car. Like,
So real quick though, another thing is, and this is like a nitpick from every action movie ever. $1 million is basically a 1 by 1 foot square.
yeah. It's like,
So to be 300 million would be like an SUV worth, like an entire
like 30
SUV.
bags.
Like it's like the half of a semi type amount. Like you got a U-Haul to get this thing out.
And he'd be
So-
working by himself too, because you
Yeah.
know the wife would be super hesitant, and the fucking 6-year-old girl ain't gonna do shit because she doesn't know what's going on.
By the way, $20 million budget. So they did a lot.
$20 million? Okay. That's kind of shocking, to be honest.
No, because
I would have guessed
What?
9.
no, the actors alone.
David Harbour, I feel like
yeah,
wouldn't
he
be
doesn't
that
go for
expensive.
much.
And
No.
everyone outside of him probably went for a fucking dime. Honestly, John
I would bet
Luciano
that he
probably
took a
matched David
quarter of-
Harbour.
I guarantee he took a quarter of it on his own.
You think he's
$5
No.
million's not that
much?
great. He's in Marvel. He's
$5
on the number
million,
one
though?
show on Netflix.
Okay, he's in many things, but he's always the guy in the background. He's not main character
And-
material.
and
If you're
I'm
not
just-
sure, ask Hellboy. Like
I don't
he's
think
not.
5 million is insane, honestly. I
For
don't
David
think
Harbour,
that
I
would be an
mean,
insane amount.
I mean, we can look it up, but I'm sure. I
Yeah.
mean, I would be. I would be.
I'm
very
sure
surprised.
he got no more than $1 million. If I'm gonna be honest,
That's what I would guess too.
No more than $1 million. Probably in the range of 800,000-900,000, I'd say.
He
'Cause-
gets. Hang on. You can
Hollywood
find him most
facts.
of this crap out now.
I'm curious about this. as well.
$400,000.
Wow, that's
only took 400.
yeah.
That's
So
what it says
there you
here.
go.
He
and
must
John
have really wanted to do
Leguizamo-
this because he gets a lot per episode. He makes that in less than a season of Stranger Things.
John Leguizamo was paid.
This is probably filmed in like 20
200.
days. 200?
200,000. Yeah.
Yeah. That see, like their biggest name is
So he gets paid.
half a
Get
million.
this per episode of Stranger Things for season 3. He got 350,000 per episode.
Well, depend what season? Current season?
Season 3.
Oh, what about season 4?
I don't know. That was season, I
He
can't
probably
find the
got a
numbers.
massive raise in season 4.
Yeah, that, I know, but like if he's making 350, that's why I said
Yeah.
5's not like an insane number to think for a
Well,
movie.
think about it this way too: 425,000 for what? 20 days of shooting, which is relatively almost the same as what he was doing for maybe an episode and a half worth of
Maybe.
the first season of Stranger Things alone. Like,
Also, the problem with Stranger Things is precisely that the costs have become
extremely
completely ridiculous. Yeah, because they've negotiated better deals. So it's kind of why every episode is $30 million now.
So that kind
yeah.
of like disappoints me that it was $20 million. Your highest paid actors less than $500,000. So they probably spent $1 million overall in just actors and 19 million. outside of
No.
it.
Well, according to this, like for example, the mom got 170,000, stuff like that. So
Yeah,
there's
but then you've got there's not that many cast members.
It already
to-
made money, by the way.
Oh yeah, because it's $20 million. He's got David Harbour, and it's very much selling the John Wick theme,
Yeah.
which is very in right now.
No,
So
word of mouth
they're
is
hitting
gonna
the
be
right
very good.
market.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's working as well as it is. And David Harbour, going back to it, he's just a great actor, and I think he really he's the only one who truly feels like he knows what type of film this is going for and supposed
John
to be.
Leguizamo reminded me of
See, even his character at the end just turned into a fucking idiot. Like, bro, of all places, like, why did you just stop at the one
he's the Joe
chimney in the
Pesci.
middle of the fucking woods?
He's the Joe Pesci character.
He's got to be at this point.
I mean,
thought
that's
he was
why
funny.
he is. Like, I mean, that's what he is.
I think John Leguizamo was pretty funny in this. Is this an actor I usually like? This is not my favorite role.
He's hit
of
or
his.
miss for me.
Yeah, I mean he's good. He's in John Wick.
Yeah, he is in John
He has
Wick.
a pretty small role in John
Yeah,
Wick.
in the first movie, he's like his.
He's
deal
in the
with
first,
car
second, and
dealer.
third, right?
I
Yeah,
thought he was
you know
only in the
where
first and
he's
second as
great.
the car dealer.
Yes, you know where he's great in.
He was in
Romeo
the
and
menu as
Juliet.
well, which is also another film that's not IP, John, that I think you might like as well. He was in that.
Romeo and Juliet. Did you see that?
No,
The
but
DiCaprio one.
no, but I know he has a decent sized role in that.
He's Thibault, Juliet's cousin, and he's pretty good in that. I think he's good in that one. He's good in Moulin Rouge too.
Bro, you
Yeah,
remember him in the Super Mario Bros?
I've never seen that movie.
No, oh
What?
my god,
We need to watch that piece of
We
garbage.
should do, yeah, we should
No.
review that, Gabriel.
All right,
But-
so let's close it out. Oh, sorry, you were gonna say something.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, I just feel like it was an underwhelming movie overall,
I
Well,
think
it's
it'll be
because you
something
hate
that we
Christmas.
watch.
especially with the $20 million budget. It feels like they might not have allocated the funds in all the right places, especially particularly in the actor side. But who knows?
I mean, to me, it looked like $1 million movie. Like I thought.
What,
I thought
Gabe?
it was,
You cut
I
out.
thi- Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
You
it looked like a $20 million movie. Like it was, the
I mean,
scope
when
was
movies are
small.
made for 300 or 400 million now, yeah, it looked like a $20 million movie.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was mostly in the same location. Probably 95% of it. Had the equivalent of a car chase, but it was on the snow. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's close it out. Otherwise, we'll talk about John Leguizamo's whole filmography in this forum, which I don't believe is the right forum for it.
By
Ryan,
the way, just so you think about this on our way out, phone booth that literally had a single set.
How much
It was
was
a
it?
$13 million movie.
So
and
what
in
was that?
2004,
2001. No, I thought that was
And
2001.
That was what?
What was that? 2001?
2002. Yeah.
2002. Okay.
So in
trying
today's
to think
money,
how-
you're talking that was a $20 million movie.
How big was Colin Farrell?
He wasn't that big back then. He was probably, I would say, like same level of fame.
And you know what? I guarantee you a lot of the budget went into, ironically enough, the shooting location.
Maybe.
So they shot that
They
in
sh-
LA. Interestingly enough,
Did
instead
they
of New York.
really?
Yeah.
I thought they shot at least 50-50.
I mean, there's some scenes where he's walking around at the beginning and he's going.
I
through
thought
Times
they
Square and stuff.
actually got a real phone booth and put it in a New York City street to film most of his exterior shots. I could be wrong though. That's what I
No,
thought.
I because I have it on DVD. I remember I watched the behind the scenes. I'm pretty sure it was shot in LA. I don't know if the phone booth was real though. They might have put that in there.
No matter.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah. No, yeah.
The economy, Ryan. Ryan,
It's booming.
do you wanna plug your Hive account for people to follow you?
Not really, because it keeps like fluctuating in and out. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. I haven't really checked today. I'm checking right now. It loaded up, but
John,
it's just,
do you know what Hive is?
it's just my post from like
Yeah, it's
6
on
days
Twitter.
ago. I don't know why. So if you guys want to follow me in Hive,
Of course
it's
not. We don't have Hive.
well, you can also listen. Oh, I'm gonna get copyrighted.
We're
on
old
here.
men.
So
Shut
Hive, no, it's not an old man thing. It's the social media that all these guys are running to because they think Twitter will just end.
No, not just because we think it will just end, just in case it does just end. You know what I mean? Like, it's not guaranteed, but we want to have that backup precautionary.
Anyway, like and subscribe. We'll still be here on Twitter. It's been another week of Cynispection. Thank you, Ryan, for joining us.
Whoop, whoop. Thanks, guys, for having
Thank
me.
you. Goodbye. Wait, I'm not ready. Say something funny. Okay, I'm ready.
I don't know what to
Adios.
say.
I'm ready. I'm ready.